This story is from about the time I was 13 years old. A schoolmate of mine had arranged to call round for me. We were going to go out to the local abandoned hotel, Leighton Court. There had been many stories of a lady in white ghost haunting the hotel. She was apparently murdered by her husband on her wedding day, just after finding him with another woman. So, after my dinner, my friend called round for me. For this story, we'll call him John. John and I walked to the abandoned hotel. The hotel used to be a stately home, so it was rather large and in its day rather splendid. After being a stately home, it was bought by someone in the 70s who turned it into a hotel, bar and nightclub. Apparently, it used to be one of the best social places in the area at the time. After its demise, it fell into a state of disrepair over many years. It was such a big place that it couldn't really get properly locked up, so we climbed over the 9-foot wall round the back and made our way through the gardens, and we soon got to the entrance of the nightclub. As we went in, we could see the glitter ball still hanging from the ceiling high up, and the bar was also there, but everything else was vandalised. We decided to walk on and go into the main part of the building. This part of the building was a couple of 100 years old, and we made our way to the foyer. But all the stories of the ghost were on the second floor, so we decided to go up the grand staircase. It must have been about 8 foot wide, very opulent. Even though the building was in a bad way, you could still get a feel for the class and the status that it once held. It was quite different to anything I'd seen before. After we had a quick look round on the first floor, we decided to go to the second floor, so we continued up the staircase. Just as I rounded the corner of the staircase, I saw a full-body apparition of a woman in a white wedding dress. She was about 12 metres away from me, going from a doorway on the left, across the landing, to the doorway on the right, and entering the room. She looked about 5'5", had her hair up in a bun. She was carrying a bouquet of flowers, but her head was down, as if she was depressed. But she looked amazing. In quite a calm voice, I said, "Oh my God, I've just seen a woman." John said, "What?" And I told him where I saw her come from and go to. And then I said, "I've got to go and see in that room." So I went up the last bit of the stairs and went in the room. Straight away I knew I had to look behind the door, and to my amazement there was an oil painting on the wall of the lady I have just seen. In my mind I was comparing the apparition that I'd just seen with the oil painting. They were identical. So I started looking around the room for clues. Now I knew when I saw the apparition her head was low, so I knew she had problems. As I'm stood there, gazing round in the room, I was picking up that was her last journey from one room to another. I was picking up that her husband had let her down. She felt betrayed. He had cheated on her, so she took her own life in that room. I could then hear her cries. She was wailing out as if it was the end. She knew what she was going to do. She felt she had to do it because she had nothing else. Then, just at that moment, I heard a loud crash. John had taken the picture off the wall and smashed it. I was really annoyed. I wasn't there to smash things or break things. I was there to gain information and maybe see the lady in white, which I did, and I'd felt like I'd almost let her down a little bit. As soon as he'd done that, the energy in the room completely changed. It went darker and heavier, too dark. I wanted to leave, and I did. I never went back inside Leighton Court after that. A couple of years later, it was demolished and a small housing estate was built on it, but it still has a small part of the large wall there. I've walked past on many occasions, thinking if anyone in the new houses see or hear anything of the lady in white. I hope that in her getting her message across to me, she could finally get a little bit of peace and move on. I truly hope she did. Ultimately, it's quite a sad story. She was there on her wedding day, the best day of her life, except she had the worst news possible. I felt for her, I really did. Thanks for watching. My name's Scott Spirit. If you'd like a psychic or a tarot reading, come and see me at timepsychics.com. If you can support me on Patreon, that would be excellent and really appreciated. And on a final note, I'll say to you, may the good spirits be with you and guide you on your journey and take you under their wings when you do so need. All the best. Take care.